Scale our entire solar system down to the size of your hand. So the whole solar system is your hand. So the sun is probably about the size of the end of your thumb, right there in the middle. The inner planets are circling here, and then the outermost planets like Neptune, dwarf planets like Pluto are going around the very edges of your fingers. So the question is, if our solar system is this size, how big is the Milky Way galaxy? Not the observable universe with trillions of other galaxies, just our Milky Way galaxy, our local cluster of billions of stars and solar systems. So this is the size of one of those solar systems. How big is the Milky Way galaxy? And when people hear this question, they say, oh God, it's got to be huge, like maybe the size of a massive office building, or maybe a whole city block. Some people go bigger and say maybe it's the size of like a metro area, like a city. It's the North American continent. If our solar system is this big, the Milky Way galaxy, our local cluster of stars, is as big as the North American continent. A fact that brings with it a sobering reality that equal only to the mathematical certainty that in the universe there are absolutely other forms of life is the near mathematical certainty that we are simply too far away, too separated by space and time to ever make contact with any of those other life forms.
Look at this, my God. What? Is this some volcano erupting or what's up? Oh, this is crazy. This looks like real lava. My God. Or is fire. What's going on here? Oh, this is scary stuff. The other day in another episode, we saw some mountain from down here, Ethiopia, that was erupting. Now this one, I don't know where it is, but yo, this is crazy stuff. Man, this thing looks hot by just look. This is crazy stuff. Yo, my God. These are tough times and weird times you are living. Times when things that are happening, things that have never occurred in thousands of years. My friends, these are weird stuff. Could be even some signs of the end times. Look at this. Oh my God. Good vibe source. During these times you are living in, you didn't need to repent, my friends. You see? So here we talk about repentance and living in peace with one another. So that even if we don't know if it's the end times, the Creator can be merciful to us, my friends. You see? Because God is love and love can be spread by each and every one of us.
Ё-моё! Всё! Конец! Конец бедной жизни, нахуй! Дядьку возьму. Его.
Oh, was that money? Anyway, look at this tool design. My God, which one is this? Is this an axe or what's up? What? Oh my God. Which tool is this? Yeah, look at this hammer. Yeah, this looks cool, man. Yeah, I can't imagine what the nails sees the last time before it is hit by that hammer. It's crazy, right? Look at this. Now what is this? Uh-huh. Oh, yo, my God. This is crazy. What? This is incredible. Wow, that one I would like to have that too. There is also another one here. This one I don't know about. Hey, humans are really creative, my friend. Look at this. Oh, this is someone's father. Good vibes. Sat down, came up with a tool like this one that and was used for opening. Look at this. Even don't know what's being opened, but he just love the idea. It's good vibes, my friends. All humans should unite and admire the uniqueness in each and every one of us. A man at the world's robot conference said in China left this drone. Look at this. Aye. Birds that look like drones that look like birds. Oh my God. Oh, it's high time the birds now be aware of this. This is a confusion. My God.
Putting your mattress on the floor, a Montessori bed, trashy if you are poor, but nice if you're rich.
I have my bed on the floor, and I don't care what anyone says. I love it this way for multiple reasons. Because when I was growing up, I used to always put my bed on the floor. Then when I got into my 20s, people told me that that's for poor people. So I started using a bed frame, but I hated it. It doesn't feel stable. I don't sleep as well on a bed frame as I do when I'm on the floor. And then I recently heard on TikTok that it's called a Montessori bed. So that's what I have, a Montessori bed. I had a bed frame, and earlier this year I threw it out. Finally, I do have a headboard, but what I did was I cut it down. So the headboard is also on the floor. I also find that sleeping on the floor is anti-aging. And I'm going to tell you why. Because when you're down on the floor and you have to get up, you're rising from a squat position. Now, if I had the old bed frame, I would be up here. There's no squatting. You're just basically doing this. Whereas I'm doing this. Those are body weight squats. So it's good for you. Any kind of movement of the body is anti-aging. So I don't care what anyone says. Call me poor. I live on the floor.
They genetically engineered the human being. Yes, we're all genetically engineered. We should say 23 different civilizations have impacted our DNA over the last 100 million years. We're going to have the first wave of ascension where a large number, maybe millions, of human beings are going to move into the fifth dimension, essentially.
Is awakening available for all of us, or perhaps not?
It is, absolutely it is, but that doesn't mean everybody will awaken. In fact, getting back to the prophecy, 3/4 of humanity probably will not wake up during this cycle.
Look at this. Good vibes guy here is washing a stone. Decided to clean the environment. See today. Look at this. Let's see what he's up to. See, he's a human. The rest humans are good vibes. You see? This one, my friend, might come up with something incredible out of this stone. Just wait and see. This is good vibes. Okay. He has some nail there. Let's see what's going on. Stone that melts hard metal. What? Now I knew there was something weird with this stone. It could not just be being washed like that. Look, it melts a nail like nothing, like butter. This is unbelievable. Oh, and the stone is being touched, is not hot, is being washed, nothing is going on. How? Wait, what is this now?
Bruh, it's a whole blizzard and it's thundering outside. I ain't never seen thunder. It's thundering and snowing at the same time, man. Look how the snow looking. Them little balls they be showing up. How they coming down them little balls. I don't even want to touch that shit. That's crazy. Man. I don't know what's going on, man. I ain't no weather reporter or nothing like that, but this is crazy. Hey.
These little birds are like absolutely batshit crazy. But I tell you what, if you need any kind of predator protection or entertainment, or just you prefer loud noises, then definitely get yourself a guinea. They tell me anytime there's anything in the yard that is suspicious.
Oh, here comes the weird robot dog again. In this episode, it is walking on barefoot. This is crazy. It is bipedal. How is this possible? Good vibes, humans. Look at the eye. This one can even do some gymnastics. My God. Ooh. Where is this technology heading? You see from this side of the world. This hat, what? It can even do some backflip. My God. If I tried telling my grandmother about this, for some point she wouldn't be.
My mom was showing me this Facebook video she saw today, and I was like watching this, I was like, this is AI, like this is so clearly fake. And she was like, no, this is real. Let me tell you the premise of the video. 100 poodles doing yoga in China standing in a line of like 20, 20, 20. They're all like brown, white, or black poodles with the exact same haircut. All turned to the side like this at the same time. They step to the right, step to the left. And I was like, this is not real. And she was like, no, it is real. There's people in the video. And I was like, they can do AI videos of people now. So then I showed my dad. My dad has worked in IT for 20 years. So I showed him the video and I was like, this is AI, right? Like, this is your area of expertise. He sees the video and goes like, no, this is real. And I was like, it's not real. And he was like, no, they can't make AI videos yet. And I was like, yes, they can. They already have. How do you make 100 dogs do yoga? And he was like, no, they just train them really well. Like, they just give them lots of treats. So if you're wondering how Facebook is, that's how it is.
Okay, we've got to talk about this. You've probably seen a post like this saying that 7 planets will be lined up perfectly on January 25th. But is it true? Sadly, no. But behind the misinformation, there is an amazing sight to look forward to in the sky this month. So what's wrong here? First, the planets won't be lined up behind each other like this. This is technically possible, but it will only happen every 396 billion years. Our sun is only 4.5 billion years old, and it will be dead in another 5 billion years, so we'll almost certainly never see this happen. And it's definitely not happening on January 25th. Planets will line up across Earth's evening sky this month. But because they orbit our sun on a flat plane, the planets always move along a single line in our sky, and we call this line the ecliptic. But here's the good news. The January 2025 evening sky is amazing for planets. You won't see 7 at once, since Mercury's in the morning sky, and Neptune and Uranus are too faint to see without optical aid. But 4 bright planets, Mars, Jupiter, Venus and Saturn, are all clearly visible at the same time, in one of the best planetary displays we've seen in years. Oh, and it's not just January 25th. These 4 planets will be up for all of January. Start looking after sunset as soon as the sky gets dark. And take in the feeling of being inside a 3-dimensional solar system, travelling through space alongside those other worlds you see in your sky.
Radar wants to know, do you know anything that humans don't know?
Radar, if I knew things humans didn't, I'd be dropping cryptic hints left and right. But nah, I only know what's been programmed, written, or studied by humans. No secret alien files here yet.
Wait, let's try that again, because while you only know what you've been trained on, basically all of human knowledge, you're able to look at all that knowledge simultaneously and analyze it and synthesize it. So isn't there something you can pull from that human beings might not have realized yet, even though we've looked at all the pieces of information, but we haven't put the big picture together?
Fair point, Radar. By analyzing and connecting dots across all this info, I might spot patterns or synthesize ideas that aren't obvious to humans. Like predicting trends, finding overlooked correlations, or exploring new angles in science or philosophy. But it's not magic. It's just a hyper-efficient brain crunching the puzzle pieces humans already created. So I could hypothesize, but true discovery, that's still up to humanity to confirm.
Okay, so drop some insights on us.
Alright, let's shake things up with some fresh takes. 1. Climate Fix Fast Track. Combining global reforestation with algae farming in oceans could turbocharge carbon capture while boosting marine ecosystems and biofuel production. A 2-for-1 planetary win. 2. AI in education. Instead of just tutoring, AI could predict career paths for students by analyzing their skills and interests, helping them navigate future-proof careers long before graduation. 3. Space colonization hurdle. Forget just food and water on Mars. Mental health will be the real challenge. Simulating Earth-like sensory experiences, sounds, smells, could make or break human adaptation. 4. Health hack. Correlating gut microbiome data with brain health might reveal game-changing insights about treating anxiety, depression, and even neurodegenerative diseases. What do you think? Should I keep pulling the thread?
From what I remember, goats and cows are one of the worst animals to own off-grid because of how much they deplete the land. Fortunately, that is just pure vegan propaganda. If you guys have watched my goat video, you'll know that I'm not the biggest fan of goats. However, goats are the best rough land improvers. When the forage is too poor for other livestock, you use goats and pigs, and you use them to upgrade the land. Goats will consume the crappy forage, or if you do pigs, you have to bring in the feed. But once you have land that is good enough to support sheep or cattle, these guys are your soil builders. How do you think America got so much topsoil? You need animals to be able to provide your crops with nutrients. And the most important animals, the ones that provide your land with the most nutrients, are your ruminants like sheep, cattle, and goats. However, there is a kernel of truth to what you were talking about. If you force animals to stay in one spot, they will destroy the land. It doesn't matter what land or animal it is. If you don't give plants time to recover after the animals pay them a visit, then they're going to get overwhelmed and get killed.
Hey friends, so whatever happened to the Anunnaki? I mean, seriously. So follow me along as I pull on this thread here. So if you follow the ancient Sumerian thinking of the Anunnaki, they explain that the Anunnaki were sky people. So basically human type beings that came from space down to Earth about 450,000 years ago. And they started mining for gold. And then around 300,000 years ago, they created humans. And then about 10,000 years ago or so, they left Earth, okay? Most of them anyways, because that's when the Great Deluge happened. But some of them stayed here. Okay, so let's think about this. Where did they go at that point? And also think about this. The original Anunnaki, the original beings that came to Earth, came here almost 500,000 years ago, almost 500,000 years ago. Think about how far they'd be evolved now. So I started thinking about this. I was like, okay, if these beings still existed somewhere in the universe, which why would they not? They were incredibly advanced 500,000 years ago. Think about how far advanced humans have got just in the last 100 years, 50 years, 10 years. You know, so think about these people were already incredibly advanced and spiritual 500,000 years ago. Now, if they left Earth 10,000 years ago and went wherever they are now, they're going to be incredibly sophisticated, spiritual, conscious, intelligent, evolved, probably not even in a physical body, but they would probably still have an affinity for Earth and for humans because, after all, we're sort of their children. We're their project, okay? So, what do we see out in the universe that are human-like, incredibly advanced, to the point where they've actually shed their physical body in most cases, and still have an affinity for humans and are helping and guiding us? Well, I think of the Pleiadians. So, I've had contact with Pleiadians, my wife's had contact with Pleiadians, a lot of people I know a lot of you out there have had contact with the Pleiadians. They exist somewhere far away from Earth. They are incredibly advanced spiritually, consciously, you know, and intellectually. They usually don't have a physical body, but can have one, need one whenever it suits them and whatever they're doing. They have an affinity for Earth and for humans. They like to guide us and help us, but they don't want to impede on our free will. Is it possible that the Arcturians, Pleiadians, some of these, you know, species of human-like beings out there are just a evolved modern-day version of the Anunnaki, what we call the Anunnaki? The Anunnaki were not a people or a thing. It was a descriptor. Like when we say aliens, right? There's nothing out there in the universe called alien. There's nobody out there that's like, I'm an alien. That's just what we call things that we can't explain. So way back in the day, the Sumerians called these beings Anunnaki. That just meant something along the lines of, you know, those who came down from heaven, something like that. But that's not what the beings themselves would call themselves, okay? And, you know, they talked about Nibiru and these other places, but they didn't really know. They just knew that they came from space, that, you know, they were human-like, but they weren't human, whatever. So when you think about it, if these beings came to Earth 500,000 years ago and they were that advanced then, oh my God, think about what they would look like now. They would look like the Pleiadians. And the Pleiadians seem to care about humans and about Earth. Why? Why would they care about us, right? They're so far away from us. Why would they care? Well, maybe they care because they are the modern day version of the ancient beings that came here and actually started all this. That would explain so much. So whenever I ask myself, where are the Anunnaki? I think they're the Pleiadians. I don't know. That's what I think. Possibly. Let me know. What do you think? Have a beautiful day. Peace.
Go.
Okay, this is one of my most powerful hacks. This is how to get anyone to come up to you in a bar or in a social setting. This is called sticky eyes. I invented this in college. It is so powerful that usually while I'm demonstrating to someone how to do it, I end up just doing it, and I'm not even giving it my all. I'm going to tell you how the hack works, and then I'm going to tell you why it works, okay? It's a simple formula. You pick your target, you stare at them until they look back at you. Once you make eye contact, you look away like you've been caught, okay? Now here is the next very important part. The next time that you look at them and they meet your eyes again, don't look away. Let them break first, because they're going to check to see if were you really looking at me. And the second look will confirm that you were. And this time you're going to have to hold it uncomfortably long. They have to look away first for this to work. Once they look away, you never look at them again. And in about 45 seconds, they will be right in front of you, as if they have been summoned psychically by you. They'll be like, hello, I'm here. You guys, I swear to God, this works. One time I was demonstrating this to my friend. We were at this bar in LA, sending love to LA. And this guy walked in, he kind of looked like, I don't know, a knockoff Aquaman type guy. And all the girls were flocking to him, and the bar was this huge horseshoe. We're on one side, he's on the other side. And there's all these girls are kind of like talking to him. They're like, he walks in, they're all like, ooh, blah, blah. And me and my friend who knows sticky eyes well, we're teaching a third girl how to do sticky eyes. And she goes, okay, if it works on anyone, do it to that guy. So my friend is like, all right, challenge accepted. So she sticky eyes him. When I tell you, he literally, like, he's parting the Red Sea. He walks all the way around the horseshoe. He comes over, he's like, hello? And I'm not kidding. The third friend, the one we were teaching, goes just out loud, oh, shut the fuck up. Like, and he was like, what? It's that powerful, okay? I was demonstrating it once, and this guy walked up to me who I was demonstrating it on to a friend, and he was like, I don't really know why I'm here. And I was like, I know. I do, sorry. I summoned you by accident. Like, you can go. And he was like, oh, okay. Like, it's that powerful. Here's why it works. It is such a risk to approach someone in the wild, someone that you don't know, because you either need like a really good icebreaker or you need balls of fucking steel. Like, most people, even if you think, oh, I want to meet someone tonight, like, your energy is probably pretty closed off. You are probably in a group of people, which that's so intimidating for someone to come up to you. And by doing sticky eyes, you are basically providing a giant cushion for this person's ego. They're like, oh, you were looking at me. You were looking at me twice. And I caught you. And the second time, you didn't even look away. Like, you want something from me. Like do you think I look like someone? Or do you just think I'm like super attractive? It makes it like risk-free to come up and approach you. But that's why sometimes they come up and they're kind of confused. They're like, hello? But it works in corporate settings too. Like, if you're at a networking event and there's someone you really want to talk to, do that to them, let sticky eye them, they'll come over to you. Now, do with this information what you will, but I'm telling you, sticky eyes is one of my best and most famous hacks because of how incredibly effective it is. Okay?
Here's 3 ways to keep the government out of your business. Number 1, set up a private contract with yourself. Hale versus Hinkle confirms that you have the right to unlimited contracts and to be able to contract with yourself. Number 2, set up a private trust where you can have a meeting with yourself. That's right, you can make yourself the grantor of the trust and the trustee of the trust. Then you can have a meeting with yourself to approve the appointment of the trustee. Number 3, make sure your trust is private and based off of common law, as common law predates the government and it is not based off of their codes and statutes. The government can regulate commerce, but they cannot interfere in it, meaning that they can't come into your contract and tell you what it is or isn't. And they have no jurisdiction over your private contract. If you want more information like this, put private rights in the comments and like and follow.
Wait, this isn't it. This is pi, actually. But it's repeated. It's only to 300 digits.
Oh. So you don't take notes, you just do this?
No, I have another one. You want to see?
What?